Foxtrot Charlie Oscar, you're in and out on my local antenna. You're in and out on my local antenna. Did you manage to crank in those figures that we worked out last Friday?
This is a brand new structure.
Okay, I'm suspecting you say this is another radio. Is that a Roger? Okay, Foxtrot Charlie Oscar, if you've got a good copy on me, I saw the way your audio jumped up there, and it seemed like it jumped up more from a standpoint of modulation jumping than from propagation. So maybe we can do some wonders here. You know about the compressor, compression on at a 3, that is your compression on at a 3, or your processor on at 30, depending on how it's labeled. Is that a Roger? Well, I'll tell you, it almost sounds like some kind of antenna difficulty almost. It just jumps up. So I'm just wondering, either you're just undermodulated, or you've got something going on in your antenna system. Have you noticed any strange readings on your SWR or anything like that?
Looks like the SWR is okay, and power is
Okay, then, Foxtrot Charlie Oscar, I think it might be in your audio. So if you have your compression on at 3, or your processor on at 30, whichever comes first, then let's go to your ALC, and as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. The magic word is audio, spoken as you would speak any other word. Don't stress it, just say it. Elongate the first part of the word audio. Adjust the mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger? All right. Gosh, that sounds, I could hear it. It sounded like it might be a little staticky. Your mic gain might be a little staticky, but let me hear you now. Give me about 10 seconds on your antenna. Let me listen to you.
audio.
You were 2 or 3 times in the clear there. You were 2 or 3 times in the clear. What's the name there? Come back with your name. Oh, that's right. This is Bob. Is that Roger?
B-O-B.
Roger, Bob. Now, what kind of microphone are you using? Okay, is that a hand mic that you're using? Is that a Roger?
It's a test mic, M1.
Roger, Roger. It sounds like there might be an inconsistency in your audio. In other words, it just kind of jumps like there might be a loose connection or marginal connection. So why don't you try setting that audio one more time? I'll tell you what, set your internal audio at 5 or 50. Internal audio on your radio at 5 or 50. Roger, Roger?
Is that mic driven? Is it power mic?
Internal audio was 50.
Roger. Okay. Do you have the hand mic that radio came with? Do you have the hand mic that radio came with? Are you on a desk mic?
I have a hand mic that the radio came with.
Can you go to that hand mic? Replace that hand mic. Replace your desk mic with the hand mic.
Roger, come back.
Then we'll give it a listen.
I'm on the hand mic. Audio on hand mic.
Yes, sir. Sounds a lot better. We might have to work on the EQ, but your audio level. You got 2/3 on your ALC meter now, Roger? It sounded a little bassy, but Foxtrot Charlie Oscar, do you copy me okay?
I copy you loud and clear.
Okay, sir. I would go to my, let's see, my EQ page. I'm assuming your radio has an EQ tone control page. Roger, Roger.
Roger.
Are you on that page now?
Roger, we are.
Already. And what radio are you running?
101.
Yes, sir. Okay, I have notes for that. So hang on just a second. My pad has gone to sleep here. I've got notes for that radio, and we'll get you set up real good. That hand mic sounds a whole lot better than your desk mic. So let me see here. Let me get going here. Come on, man, wake up. Here we go. Okay. Coming along here. We're coming on up. And these are notes that include FTDX-10, FTDX-101D, FTDX-101MP. So you're on your EQ page, and your compression is on, your processor is on. Make sure your mic EQ is set to on. Roger, Roger?
It is turned on.
Repeat again?
It's on.
Yes, sir. Okay. So it is that you're on the P set of controls. Since you have your processor on, you'll be on your P set of EQ controls. And we'll be working through, and we'll start with set EQ number 1, the base control, to 200 cycles, width of 4, level plus 6. Okay, so that's EQ number 1, which is your base control, set on 200 cycles, width of 4, level minus 6. Roger?
Could you repeat that? I did not understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so since you're on your processor, we'll be on the PAL set of EQ controls, the P set, PAL set of EQ controls, and the base is number 1, each set of EQ is number 1, and it should be at 200 cycles, and you can adjust the frequency. So you should adjust the frequency to 200 cycles, and then you can adjust the width of it as a 4, and you can adjust the level as minus 6. Roger, Roger?
Roger. How does this sound to you?
Okay, are you on, let's see, 200 cycles on EQ number 1? You should be set at 200 cycles with the 4 level -6, Roger? And we'll go on from there, but we get this first, Roger? There should be a set of controls marked P as in Paul. There should be a set of 3 controls marked P for processor that is on, and we would be using that set of compression knobs, that set of EQ knobs for since you have your processor on. And again, your base is number 1. It should be at 200 cycles with the 4 level -6. And I'll repeat that, 200 cycles with the 4 level -6. Roger?
Roger. How does this sound?
Okay, so we have some other EQs we've got to move along and get those before we can really, before we will have tuned the EQ circuit. So go to EQ number 2, which is the mid frequency control. That should be set to off or flat. EQ number 2 and the P controls should be set to mid. Mid control should be set to off or flat. Off or flat on EQ number 2.
Okay, I'm having a hard time getting out what's located that you want me to do. I'll just have to check back with you next week. See if I can come up with something.
Roger, Bob. Well, if you're on that EQ page, we're close. Do you see those P controls? There should be 3 of them, and each one should have a width and a level adjustment. And there should be three controls for each EQ setting. EQ1 is your bass, EQ2 is your mids, EQ3 is the top end, the treble control. So if you found those and cranked in what we've got, then we want to move to EQ3, which is your treble control, and we want to set that at 2.7 kilohertz with the 4 level plus 7. Do you see how you can do that on that treble control, number 3?
I'm sorry, I just cannot locate it.
Yes, sir. Okay, Bob. Gosh, we have such a beautiful copy. I have such a beautiful copy on you. I wish we could do it today. And I know that you've been trying to get this set up for the last 3 weeks. But what you need to do is go back to your book and find out how to get to your EQ controls and how to get to that P series of EQs, because we're in the processor mode, so that will call for us to be working on the EQ set, the P set of EQ controls. Roger? So, Bob, what you need to do is go back and just read that book on the equalizer. Read that book on how to get to the equalizer and how, where those P set, Paul set of EQ controls are, and how to set them up, from the standpoint of the frequency, which is a parametric. You can set that frequency, you can set the width of it, and you can set the level of it. So kind of consult your book on that, Roger.
Roger.
And then we'll try it next Friday. And if you know where that is, and if you know where your mic gain, your ALC is, and your processor is, we should be able to get this all done just in no time at all. Roger?
Okay, I've got processor level at comp A and AMC. I found that.
Okay, you say you do have your processor on at 30. Roger, Roger?
I see comp and AMC. I don't see a number.
All right, it's a it'll be a 7. It'll be 7 on your ALC meter. You know that meter is running horizontal probably, and it'll be at the 7 is where you want to set it as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter reads 7. Roger, Roger? That ALC meter should be just below your power output meter or settings anyway. So anyway, Bob, if you wanted to take notes, I can give you those notes again if you don't have them, and then consult your book and crank in those numbers. I thought we were going to do that last time, but if you need the numbers again, I'll give them to you. Roger, Roger? Bob, you still have a copy?
Roger, go ahead with the note.
Roger, Roger, Bob. If you've got a good copy on me, I'll give you those numbers again, and then you'll be able to consult your book and crank in those numbers, and then we'll give it a listen next Friday, Roger. So if you're ready, if you have a pencil and paper, I'll give you the numbers from start to finish on your setup, and you can just take notes and crank them in at your leisure. Roger?
Roger, I'm ready.
All right, the first thing is to be sure that you're in that wide transmit mode. That's 100 to 2900. Wide transmit mode. Wide transmit mode. 100 to 2900. Roger, Roger?
Roger.
Next, move to your compressor. You may move to your processor, and you want it set to 30. Processor on, set to 30. Processor on and set to 30. Roger, Roger?
Roger.
All right, then once you get that, and that is why you're saying the word audio and adjusting your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 7. Until your ALC meter is showing 7 as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain to get that. Roger?
Roger.
All right, then to your equalization page, your equalization page, and that is, the numbers are, you'll have 3 controls marked P for Paul or processor on your equalizer, and you'll be setting EQ number 1, which is the base control. You'll be setting that to 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. So again, EQ number 1, the base control, set to 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. And that's on the beginning of the P controls. Roger?
Roger.
Really sounding good there as far as your signal strength. We just need to get that, primarily your EQ set. All right, so then move to EQ number 2, which is the mid-control. It should be set to off or flat. EQ number 2, which is the mid-control, should be set to off or flat. Roger?
Roger.
All right, EQ number 3, which is your treble control, should be set to 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7, level +7. I'll repeat that again. EQ number 3, which is your treble control, should be set to 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7.
Roger.
Now, I think that will be good. Now, you know, I think before you might have had your mic level really low on this radio because it's sounding really good now. Why don't you come off mic, back from the mic, about 2 inches additional from where you are. Come back off of the mic about 2 inches additional from where you are, and let me listen to you.
Roger. Audio. Audio.
All right, Bob. Now tell me about the best thing you like about your radio in about 10 seconds.
I'll tell you, the receiver in this radio is a lot better than the one that I had, and we're going to work on the transmitter and get it up going. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think if we get those EQs that I gave you, if we get those EQs cranked in, we'll attenuate a bunch of that bottom end, and you won't sound so muffly, and you'll sound brighter, and you'll be more easily understood. Your articulation level will come up a bunch if we get those EQ controls levels cranked in that I gave you. Roger?
Roger. Wish us luck.
Repeat.
Wish us luck.
Wish you luck.
Roger.
You'll get it, Bob. I just hope we have as good propagation next Friday as we've had today. And just, you know, you do have your book, right? You have your book for that radio?
I'll get started on this and see what I can do with it.
Yes, sir, Bob. Well, 73, sir. I'm sure you'll get it. It's just, you know, we just got to get that equalization control set up to whack some of that bass off and put some more highs in there on your treble side. So really bring up the enunciation quite a bit, so you will be very easily understood. And then wherever we have to go after we do the EQ, we'll go back and check the ALC and get your level set just perfectly. So I'll see you next Friday. Roger.
Roger. We'll check on this, get started on it, and maybe people will be home tonight and give me a picture also.
Roger. And if you want to hear your audio, Bob, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,600 Qso-Vlog air check recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, and you'll be able to hear your audio, and then you'll know what I'm talking about as far as getting rid of some of the bass and increasing the top end. So let me say 73 to you now, Sarah. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.
73, you also BO-KO4FCO.
Roger, Bob. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you want to check out your radio, give me a shout.